Hi, I'm Jay Skinner. Give it a few minutes here for everybody to get on board. This is the Buyers and Sellers Show, PDT Associates. And you also know me maybe as the Fence Guy with HOAFence.com. That's HOAFence.com. And if you need residential fence in the Indianapolis area and surrounding counties, get online, check us out. We'd be there for you. Do you remember this? Listen to that sound. You are the sunshine of my life. And we're live. Good to see you. Today's a special day. We're talking about, well, cynicism. And cynicism is a bad habit that we don't want to have. And by the way, just for those of you that are new, because we've got a lot of people online, literally all over the world, I'm so excited because we're broadcasting. It's a simulcast on a couple of channels of Facebook, also Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube right now. And so it's a lot of friends out here and people that know one another that have shared this. And I will tell you that on each of these things, there's generally a share thing. And if you say, man, I know someone that should hear this or see this, this would be a good time to hit share and share it out to some friends and let them know this is going on. Well, one of the things that I do at the beginning, as you know, is I'll play a song. We'll just have some fun. Well, today I'm going to play a song, and it's really a part of this. And it goes like this. There we go. Make sure my pedal's in place. There we go. Woo. Or when upon life's billows you are tempest tossed. When you are discouraged, thinking all is lost. Count your many blessings, name them one by one, and you will discover what the Lord has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your many blessings, see what God has done. How about that? And we're live. We got to count our many blessings. That's very important. On this show today, I'm going to be referencing a new book called Creatures of Habit by Steve Poe. He's the senior pastor of a big mega church here in Indianapolis called Northview Church. And I want you to see the book right there. And it's Creatures of Habit, breaking the habits holding you back from God's best. And the thing is that there's 12 other habits in here. This is quite an amazing book. Cynicism is just one of the 12 habits that are destroying our lives, and in some cases making ourselves and our families and our vendors and our friends and our relatives and our neighbors and our kids and ourselves miserable. So I hope you're ready for some revelations and paths to your reinvent, restart, and rebuild. Could be of your business. If you're, a buyer, it's part of business. We're all buyers and sellers. That's what we do. And you know that I have what I call the silver rule. And I'll put this up here because this is key to what we're talking about when it comes to buyers and sellers and business, is that we want to do unto our vendors as we want our customers to do unto us. So that's the silver rule. A little bit more of kind of logistics. If you see me looking around at things here, I've got a screen here and a screen here and a screen here and one down here. How about that? And a microphone and a keyboard over here, a lot of things going on. And I'm producing this all. If you're interested how I'm producing this, it's through a program called StreamYard. and I want you to know about that because it's pretty cool. StreamYard.com. So this is the name of my company, and I also want you to know that if you want to get in touch with me directly, you can go to pdtassociates.com, and there's an area that says click more about you. You can fill in some information, or you'll find my contact information there too. The other way is you want to know more about who Jay Skinner is, you go to thejskinner.com, thejskinner.com, and it'll take you to my website too. And you can learn more about who I am and what I do, and get a better idea of, why I'm here and what I do. So I'm thankful that you made it. This is difficult because we're talking about something that cuts to our hearts. And, when I say cynicism's a bad habit, let's fix this thing together. Let's first of all define what is cynicism. And this comes from Steve Poe. One of his messages that I got from is actually 2019. It was cynicism is the attitude, and I'm going to put it up here. Let's put it on here so you can really see it. Cynicism is the attitude of scornful or jaded negativity, the general distrust of the integrity or actions of others. Okay, let's let that sink in for a minute. By the way, if you're new here, this is 30 minutes up and down, and we'll be turning it off by 11:05 or before Eastern Standard Time. So we don't go a long time. We just get some good points out here and work together. The other thing is I highly value your comments right here. And I see there's some people already popped in. Hey there. Good morning, Mr. Fitzgerald. Happy 4th of July to you too. Thank you for coming. And Sharon Skinner Hoffmeister, good to see you. I'm so glad that you've made it. And please type in here. Sharon in her business is doing regular daily lives, and I don't know if the streak is still going, but at one point she was over 600 daily live broadcasts like this in her business. So please let me know how many you got going there, Sharon. Hey, Coachman, Charles Coachman, you followed Fitz over to the J side of life. Glad you're here. We're going to count our blessings and learn about cynicism. And Sharon, okay, good. 632 today. As we get into this conversation, I'm very interested in you sharing, those of you that are out here, all of us, if there's something that could be beneficial to the group about cynicism and what that has, happened or caused for you. It's just one of 12 habits, we talked about this, that are really, really affecting people and affecting business. Now, I got impressed with the idea that I need to do this because I've seen such great value in people throwing and shucking off cynicism. It's huge. And then I've also seen a lot of pain in people who just insist on staying cynical. And I want to talk about that for a minute. This cynicism, that word, are you cynical? Now, some people have different levels of it. And apparently this is something that comes on to people as a result of being hurt. I think about if we put up our barriers and something happens with somebody or some type of somebody or some sort of given situation, and then it goes beyond being smart the next time it comes along, that situation, but it goes to the depth of our soul. And then when someone that acts like that or looks like that or a particular situation comes your way that looks like the last time that you got hurt, then all of a sudden the defenses go up. Sometimes even the offenses go up. Sometimes you're just plain a jerk. Oh my gosh, I can say that because you can't come through here and grab me. Sometimes I am. Not so much because I tell you, I got to admit, cynicism is not my worst habit. And so maybe that's good for me to be able to teach on, because I've been tempted by it and been pulled into cynicism at times and then recognized it and pulled out. And at the end here, we're going to talk about some of the things that you can do in order to eliminate that in your life. When it matches, you see something, it matches when something like that, something bad happened in your past, and then you turn off. You don't even give yourself a chance to believe that something good can happen here with this person or that situation. Oh, it looks like I got a comment up here. Let's see if someone's chiming in here with an idea. Well, Randall, good to see you. Thank you. Love it. Love Trinidad. And over there in Trinidad is one of my good friends, Bridget Hyacinth. And I wonder, do you know Bridget? She's a big influencer on LinkedIn. But thank you very much, Randall, for coming in. I think you're one of my friends from the Gittimer Insiders too. Think about this. What do we do with our cynicism? Is it holding you back? Are you willing to look at it that way and think, man, I may be, as a business owner or a friend or somebody, being so cynical, I've been hurt so many times and people have screwed this up so many times, whatever it is, that when you walk into this situation, you're expecting it to happen. It's almost like a self-fulfilling bad prophecy onto your life, onto your actions. Are you the kind of persons that all you got to do to darken the room is walk into it? Or are you the one that all you got to do is create your own party and you lighten up the room? That spirit of cynicism and having a cynical attitude about things people say and what they do is not productive. If you don't want to hear it, I love you anyway. But can we get rid of it? Is it slowing down your progress? I'm interested in any comments here. Am I on to something? I know I am. I have been places with companies and people that I've worked with that, because of years of problems with their customers and other things that happen, that every time they turn around and something's about to happen and they're in a situation similar to something that happened a while back, they're just all prepared for it to go bad. And what I want to challenge everyone here to do is think about the good things that have happened. Believe something good can happen and take that negativity out. Let's look at this again. It's the attitude of scornful or jaded negativity, the general distrust of the integrity or actions of others. Are there certain people that you deal with and it's like they have that look and feel and the way they talk and how they act, that you immediately say, this guy's a crook, this woman is a bad person, they're going to let me down, they're not going to be trustworthy, and all they did was walk into the room? And my challenge to you is to say, when you walk into that situation or that situation comes to you, what do you think about being more vulnerable? What do you think about allowing yourself to be more vulnerable, maybe even get hurt sometimes? But in the end, it will be far more productive and beneficial than putting up the defenses and stomping on the fires of enthusiasm, hopes, dreams, and people's personal journeys. Think about this. I want to say that again. Kill the cynicism. Decide in your own mind and heart. I'm not going to be cynical. I'm not going to step into situations that seem like deja vu and the bad things are going to happen again. But I'm going to intentionally walk in, put myself in a vulnerable position, perhaps even allow myself to get hurt a little, but it'll be okay. And you will be far more productive and beneficial and a blessing to others and yourself than putting up those defenses and through your attitude and actions, stomping on those fires of enthusiasm, hopes, dreams, and people's personal journeys. Wow. But it's the truth. I know from my own life that there's times when someone comes to me with something and my experience tells me that's a loser. And what I wanted to say is maybe it was the last time you dealt with it. Maybe it was the last time you dealt with somebody who was in that or a similar position. What do you think about that? Someone give me a word here. Okay, good. Like Kevin, he says, how does conspiracy theory work within cynicism? Well, that's a good question. I don't know. Except for I think conspiracy theory being a word that people use is kind of an overriding, overreaching way of being cynical about some information or something that comes to them. I tend not to use that word or that phrase. And that's a good example. If you hear yourself saying conspiracy theory, maybe that's kind of a cynical perspective you want to back off on. How about with new employees and they come in and they don't dress or aren't as clean or they're the way that they talk or speak or act is not the way you're used to, or maybe you had people that looked or act or talked or spoke like that in the past that were a real loser in the end, and it was a very bad situation for you. Wow. You know, when that happens, that it's like difficult not to be cynical and just immediately think, well, this is not going to work out. But that's cynicism. What do you think about intentionally saying no to that? Experiment with it. Are you the guy when someone comes in with that new idea that you immediately kill it because you know so much and you've done it so many times and it's always this way and save your time? Is there any room in you with employees or a vendor or a new customer when these topics come back to not just jump right on something they say and kill it or dispute it, but to give them some space to develop their idea and think about it? You remember feel, felt, found? Those of you that were in sales training over the years know about that. Feel, felt, found, 3 F's. I'll tell you what, it's one of the most valuable lessons I ever learned when it came to talking to people. Someone says something that you don't like. You feel the cynical or the objection inside your heart going, that's not right. I don't like that. And what are we supposed to say? Mr. Customer, Mr. Prospect, Mrs. Skinner, Mr. Smith, I know how you feel. In fact, I felt that way before under the same circumstances. However, what I found in the course of all this was this, and however is a dangerous word, but at least some empathy in the conversation takes the edge off of anything that might look cynical, doesn't it? What do you think? What do you think about that? Post right here. And by the way, while I'm at it, because I want to give Steve Poe credit for his book and a lot of the information that I'm doing here, I'm going to post up his website through the posting thing, through the chat. And if we're lucky, maybe that'll become a hot link you can click on, because I want you to know about this book and how to get it, called Creatures of Habit. And I'll show you on here what that looks like. I'm waiting for some more comments if they're to be had out here. There it is. stevepoe.org. Creatures of Habit. Right there. You can buy your own copy. It's worth it. We've talked about cynicism. There's 11 others to talk about that might be part of helping you get better in how you deal with people, how you deal with buyers and sellers, and how about the rest of the family and everyone else you know. I suggest that you do this. So, can you think of the situations at work when this happens? Oh, this is interesting. Coachman says, I tend to be more open-minded towards people, but they do me wrong or lie to me, the cynic in me comes out. Check. Exactly. That's what happens, Charles. Thank you so much. That's where we are. And do we know it's not particularly healthy and helpful to the situation? I know it is not healthy to be cynical. Randall, this is good. Let's see what you say. It can be easy to be cynical in today's environment. I try switching my thoughts to gratitude and joy. Oh my gosh. Randall, do you know where I'm going? This is great. This opens the door for me to be open-minded and not rehearse and rehash my cynical responses, especially the ones we don't say. It's in my thoughts. How about that? Even when it's in your thoughts, it can cause you trouble. Wow, I'm going to leave that up just a little bit longer. Everybody read it. Really good stuff here. And this contains some answers to the problem. And I need to also share with you, let's see what I got right here. I may have something right here. This is part of the solution. I'm going to let it run down here at the bottom while you think about this. While you cogitate. Great stuff, Randall. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. That's from the Bible. 1 Corinthians chapter 13. How about that? There's some real wisdom out there to be had. So, are you convinced in your own mind that your cynicism, which in some cases people are almost like proud of, and if you're one of those people that you're cynical and you got a reason why and it's okay and you think it's good, well, I know how you feel. In fact, I felt that way in the past myself. However, what I found was that a cynical attitude is not productive in relationships, in business, or anywhere else. That's what I found. So don't want to lead people up to the edge of the cliff without giving them some practical things to do and ways to attack this so that you can be successful and get out of it. Here's paths to a solution. 1, you got to start by acknowledging that it's a problem. If you don't think it's a problem, it's going to be real hard to do anything about it. Number 2, believe the best about people. Just assume it's going to be great with everybody until they prove you differently. And then when they do, try to help them and do the best you can. And I'm not saying that you're supposed to be in a position and be a doormat by any means, but you can be loving and caring. And like that said, bear all things, believe all things, hope all things, and endure all things. Start by believing the best about people, regardless of what it seems like at the beginning. Give them a chance. Talk to them. Practice gratitude. Our brother just mentioned that a minute ago. Thank you from Trinidad. You know, I love Trinidad. And one of these days, by the way, I was in Grenada 50 years ago. Can you believe that? We'll talk about that sometime. It's an island over there near Trinidad and Tobago. So, little side. And I'm thankful for that. But practice gratitude. We were talking at the beginning when I sang that song. When upon life's billows you are tempest tossed. Okay? Count your many blessings. That's an answer. Practice forgiveness and compassion. Now, some of this may be foreign to you. That's okay. It's time to get into it. Take some notes. Buy this book. See what it takes to get better at this. That's why we're here. And then the last thing is engage in community. Make sure that you surround yourselves with people that are like-minded, headed in the same direction, that can give you support and love you and take care of you and be your friend, and you can do the same thing. And that could be a church, it could be a lodge, it could be a club, it can be a Bible study. I don't know what it is, but it's somewhere where people that are like-minded with you, seeking to do awesome things and great things in this world and make a difference. Make sure that you are connected with them and that you share and you lift one another up. Wow. That was about the fastest 25 minutes I've ever done. And we got through a lot of stuff. I hope that you are feeling good about this and that you think, wow, that'd be nice. I like that. I don't want to be so cynical. If that's the case, then do it. Be proactive about that. I want to check and see if there's any additional comments here. Randall, thank you. Looks like there's another one here. I found also that the more cynical I become, the issue is really the guy in the mirror staring back. Wow, Randall, we got to be friends. Nice. Thank you so much for participating. Steve, God bless you, brother. Great program today, Jay. I needed this. Thank you. Thank you for being vulnerable and saying that. I love you, Steve. I'm so thankful for, we've been together since it's been 10 years. Can you believe it? And we've been friends. And by the way, I got to tell you, Steve Wolf, I just put Steve Wolf's name up there. You guys want to be friends with him. He is known as one of the finest, if not the best, chief financial officer guy in the country. And that comes from a big time turnaround guy who has huge regard for Steve. And I worked with him, and you all got to know Steve Wolf if you want a world-class CFO kind of guy that knows what's going on. Teresa Noel Silcox. Oh, catch it on the replay for sure. So thankful that you came by. Sharon, I'm glad you needed it. I hope I've given you some good stuff that can be helpful to everybody. And with that, I want to just thank everyone again for coming. Count your blessings. This is Jay Skinner. Buyers and sellers, count your blessings. Name them one by one. Count your many blessings. See what God has done. Bye now. Thanks for coming. Buyers and sellers. I'm Jay Skinner, PDT Associates, every Friday morning at 10:35. Be there. See you then. Bye now.